Hey folks, Matt with the Water Company here. I want to show you a new product that I've got for your whole house filter. I really like this setup a little bit better than what I'm used to using. Usually used for this housing here, Big Blue. And this is the same size. It's going to hold a filter in there that's 9.5 inches tall by 4.5 inch diameter. You can see this system we're coming in with a well water, and I always like to plumb them up this way, showing all the paths. So we got hard water coming in through here, goes through the UV. Now these systems, you can only do it facing this way, or you could rotate it, but you need to have it facing where these words are facing up. But you could also go vertical. When you go vertical, you need to make sure that the top, where the electrical connections are facing the ceiling. You can't do it the other way. It's just not the right way to hook it up. But you can see we just hooked this up 2 days ago, and this is actually going to last. The bulb in here is going to last for 365 days. We're 2 days in, so you can see then it goes out there, goes through this filter. I like to, if I'm not on city water, I like to do this after the UV so I can capture any dead organisms that we're killing through the UV light, capture their dead cells in this filter. In here we've got a combination filter. It's carbon block, and it's got a skin on it that captures 5 microns of sediment. And then we're going out from there down to the water softener. This particular softener, the input is on this side, the output is here. This is not my softener, this is one that the homeowners brought. It's not too bad, kind of has a head shape like alien. Anyway, we're going out the water softener, and then I've got to close off right here. You can see filtered and soft to house. And then we're going back to the house here. I always check, is my house on this side or this side? In this case, I actually didn't check that, and I had to reverse these once I turned it on. And then I also didn't check this, because usually they come in on the right, go out on the left, just like a water heater. Cold, or coming into the water heater untreated, and then going back to the house with hot. In this case, they did it like reading a book. Start from your left, go to the right. So they came in on the left, went out to the right, back through the house, and they did the same thing here. It's not the way that we do it typically in plumbing, but that's how this was. Always check on that, because you don't want your water running backwards through the softener. I want to show you though the cool thing. What I really love about this filter housing is how easy it is to change. We're not having to spin this whole filter for the seal. We only have this. So what I would do, I always do the close off on the input and the output so I can isolate it. And I like to put it under the salt tank here, so that way we can utilize that. I'm going to show you right here. We want to utilize that for draining this out. Now what's really cool about this, that's missing from so many of the other housings, is it's got a bleed off port right here. You use a flathead screwdriver for. So I'm going to show you the process. We're going to turn the water off on both sides, and I like to put this bleed off. This is a hose bib. I like to put this hose bib on the send side. That way when we put the new carbon filter in there, we can run through it the normal way with it all isolated. We can turn on our input, giving us pressure here, but keep our output closed, and then bleed off the carbon media dust from there. So this is a hose bib off of that T, and I like to cut this little section of hose so you can bleed it right into here. But having the salt tank right underneath the housing also allows us to bleed this off real nice. So we're going to go over here. Step 1, close your valves off on the input and the output. Step 2, take your filter wrench here. It's not going to be very tight. It's just, well, I lied. It is tight. That's because I didn't do the most important step after that, which is you got to bleed out the pressure. Otherwise, it's going to feel like that. So we're going to open this up. That's just going to let a little water out here. Now, so that's a good part to this tutorial. Is see, much easier now to take that off. So now, just going to get this out of the way. Hang it back up here. So you do that. Now, on this filter, what holds it, I'll show you here. So this just holds it up to there. But usually you get that deal going on, where water wants to still squirt out because you got water inside the housing. So let me show you the unique feature now about this one. You can rotate this around, and right here we've got a flathead, and it's silver, or copper, I'm sorry, brass. Put that on there, flathead screwdriver, you're gonna twist it counterclockwise. Now watch this. And I like this because we can displace the air with this right here too. So when we keep turning this, it's gonna bleed that water out. And it's not like super fast, but we don't have a lot of water. This is a 10-inch housing. If it was a 20-inch, we'd have a lot more. You can untwist that, pull it all the way out, but in the meantime, the water's gonna come out those threads. So, there we go. Pick that up. That has been something missing from all the other housings that I put in. This is always great, but you always get some water out there. So I like to do that, get the water out. That's important to do anyway when you put the new filter in and you did get through all the sloshiness, is to drain the water out so your new filter is not floating in the housing. Now, there's a gasket here. You want to make sure that that gasket is still in place for you when you put it back in. But see, it's just a flathead. And it's kind of a wide flathead, so anyway, you don't need to put thread sealant on that. When you put it back in, just make sure that gasket is there. Get it started by hand. And get the screwdriver on here. You don't have to go crazy with it. It's just going to hold that seal in place when you get up there, so you go like, okay, now it doesn't turn easy, and maybe we go like 10-15 minutes on the clock more. Now watch the difference. When we go to take this off, no water sloshiness. Love it. So here's our filter. When you put the new filter in, you'll just drop it right in here, and there's a nub. If you're not right on the nub, you can see how it kind of drops in. So I'm sicking up, and then it drops down. And you want to look for this gasket right here. Put some gasket grease on it if it's brand new. Check it, make sure that you don't want to put this up all dry. And that's it. So all the water's out. We're gonna pretend we put a new filter in right here. We're on the nub where we want it. Now this, you don't have to twist it. The regular Big Blues, you gotta twist the whole. You gotta twist all of this, and so you get friction on that gasket. So I love this. I like my sticker facing out, so you know how to get a hold of me. And I go a little bit backwards because it is going to turn a little bit unless you hold on to the housing when you put it on. But put this on, and you can see when I get close to the end, it turns just a little bit. I didn't quite get that sticker lined up because it actually didn't turn that much. That's it. So I'm going there and then snug it up just a little. I hang this thing here so that doesn't get lost. Got my dirty handprints off of there. Now, here's where I was talking about. When you put the new filter in, we're going to leave the output going to the house in the off position, but we're going to open up the input. And we're just going to bleed out a little bit. I like to run like a gallon or two through that filter. That's all you really need just to get the dust off. Just slow it down so you can see what that water quality looks like. It's a little cloudy from oxygen, but it's not gray. And that's okay if that dumps in here. It just means it's going to go through this when it backwashes and go down the drain. So that's great. Let's check for any leaks underneath here. I don't have anything leaking from there. So now everything's back in service and cleaned out. Now we can send it to the house. And Bob's your uncle. Thanks for watching. Matt with the Water Company. You can find these by giving us a call, 830-500-8608 if you have any questions. And we can send this stuff to you free of shipping. This I don't have on the website, but I'm going to add that here tonight. But the filters, you get them free shipping straight to you, and it's prices. You buy one and get, or you buy 5 and you get one free if you buy it in a box of 6. Well water, I typically recommend that this is changed out every quarter. If you're on city water, because it's taking out chlorine, taste and odor, you want to change it out every 6 months. But if you're noticing a reduction in flow or pressure, then this thing is expended and you want to replace it. You also want to look when you're replacing this for anything red or brown sludginess on the outside. That means you also have some high iron content. The iron is getting stopped here, and then there's a bacteria that feeds off of that iron, and its byproduct is this red sludginess. If you don't have much or any of that, then I wouldn't worry about it. If you do, then we can, if it's less than 5 parts per million, we can do another one of these right before it, but taller, and give you an iron filter. If it's more than 5 parts per million, then we do a system kind of like a water softener, and it's called an AIO, and we put Kettlelox light media in there. We're going to take out a lot of stuff, but or we could just do it for the iron, but you already have that system in place. To take out the iron, I like to set it up to where it'll take out other things just in case, like hydrogen sulfide, sulfur bacteria, iron bacteria, lots of metals, and it'll filter down 3 microns of sediment as well. And it takes out H2S gas, which is very prevalent in wells. It just comes out of the ground, and so that's that hydrogen sulfide. AIO stands for air injection oxidation, but we can tell you more about that in another video. Hope this helps in the filter change. Thanks.